Hi, my name is Meryl van der Merwe. I am the teacher of FundaFunda's World History class, and I just want to explain to you a little of what you can expect if your children take this class. So it is a high school class, and it is aimed at preparing your children well for college, whether they're taking history or another topic in college, but our classes all are trying to prepare your child to cope in a college environment. The class starts in the 1200s. It was just too much to cover to start earlier than that, and it goes to the present day. This is the same timeline that the AP World History uses. So if your child does want to write the AP class, just reach out to me once you sign up and I will tell them what extra they should do to prepare for that. This is not an AP class, so bear that in mind. However, because it works in the same time period, it is very easy to upgrade it by adding a little bit extra to that. So let's go back in and just look at what you can expect. Now, in my classes, there are no tests and there are no essays. The students are writing when they are comparing perhaps different primary sources or expressing their own opinion about something or doing a project. So there will be writing involved, but just not essays. Tests I do not think are terribly helpful. Rather, they will be involved in their learning by actually delving into the different time periods, investigating, creating projects on different topics. And in this way, they'll actually retain the knowledge a lot better than if they're crammed for a test. I do like to use all the wonderful things you can find on the internet, and I want to take you inside the classroom quickly just to give you some idea of what it looks like. So here you see Module 1. Obviously, this is the introduction module. And I talk a little bit about how we're going to be studying history. They have an overview of the first time period. And so what happens is we look at it in sort of chunks of a couple of hundred years at a time. So it starts off with that overview and looking at the population, etc. You'll see there's a reflection on this module. Every single module, I ask them to take what they have learned and to apply it to their lives. History is meaningless unless we actually see how it affects us. Otherwise, we're just learning a lot of facts and why. So it's always, what does this matter? And I try and get this through to the students. Then we go through the different parts of the world from the time of 1200 to 1450 in detail. So we start with Europe, and you can see their games. The Where's Jobs game. These are all great online games that I've either paid to use or are free out there. We look at the feudalism. I think that's one that they create. So I like to do creative projects. Here they're playing with emojis. They are creating it again. You can see we look at the Black Death, all the typical sort of things that you could expect. But you can see I try and do this in a very creative manner. I use sometimes I make the videos, but I often use ones that are out there that are just really good. Okay, that module is one published. This is not green because it's not published yet. As soon as it's published, the students can see it. That's the difference. You can see then I carry on. I do Europe in the Middle Ages. We look at the Western Schism. You can see we're using maps, we're using doodle notes, just a whole combination of different ways of doing things. Then we start to look at the Islamic world and what was going on there, which is really interesting, obviously. Everything's interesting, I think, in history. The Crusades. We look at it from both sides, what it was like if you were a crusader, why were they crusading, what was it like to be on the Crusades, also what was it like if you were in those cities where the Crusaders arrived and started trying to burn you to the ground. We look at the Silk Road, play a really fun game that makes it very clear what the Silk Road is, and then we move on to what do we say here? Sorry, then it's Eastern Asia. And you can see we just keep on going through every part of the world. Japan and Southeast Asia comes up next. We do Africa, and then we do the Americas. And once we're done, you can see then when we move on to the next time period, and we'll do the same thing, we'll kind of look through different areas of the world and what was going on there and try and connect them so that it makes sense. And they can see what was happening, what came before, what came afterwards. And the students really enjoy it, and they do get a better sense of history where different things fitted in. One student at the end of last year made the comment that she knew a lot of the actual topics that we discussed over the year, but she didn't understand how they fitted together and how one caused the next thing. And that was a real eye-opener to her as she studied. So if you think this would be a good fit for your teen, just go and look in the description and you can click right through to the link on FundaFunda Academy and read more about the class and sign up.